welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. Can you guys hear me okay? Hello? Hello? Okay, let me quit messing around and get started. Whew, you guys. I'm literally in a mother freaking jungle. um, no joke. I had to move my plants around and I got so many. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let me show you my view right now. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Right. This is just part of what's beside me. Do y'all want to see it? Do y'all want to see? It's legit a whole ass jungle. It's legit a whole ass jungle. That's a fig tree. I decided like my fig tree needed to just be in here with me. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I think my family just needs to be grateful that I didn't put the nectarine tree in here with me too. Because that one's hella big. Yes. We are preparing for cold weather at this point. At some point, because I always end up living on mountain tops across multiple estates. States, not estates. I don't live on estates. I don't got that kind of money, y'all. um, Around this time of year, we need to start preparing. So my fruit trees come back indoors. And that's what I was busy doing. I was moving my fruit trees around just in case, you know. Last winter, I done waited so long, they almost died. They almost died. But luckily they grew back. All right, almost there, guys. I asked what this conversation was going to be about, and what I heard is ride the incoming wave. Yes, I'll do that. Y'all know I don't know how to swim, right? I mean, I do, but I get so freaked out that I don't. Let that sink in. Wrap your mind around that. I know how to swim, but I don't. But I do, but I don't. I don't know. I love this. I, I don't know. I do, but I don't. Okay. Okay. Michael, for real, this is not some setup of a reading, is it? Because, like, for real, I'm in a good mood. Don't piss me off today. I'm actually in a good mood. Is this, tell me in advance what this reading is going to be about. Because the cards that I'm seeing here. Okay. So the first card, which I love prosperity. So you're entering into a prosperous period for some of us, not all of us, for some of us. Those of us who are willing to work on the blockages, the things that are preventing us from getting into this space of like awareness of the different types of wounds that we still carry. Uh, if you're willing to work on that, some really beautiful things can happen for you. Some really, really beautiful things can happen. And if we allow these really, really beautiful things to happen, well, then we can enter into a space of prosperity. Um, hold on. Okay. So, and then that's where the reading kind of just like So, okay, there's a masculine. I don't know if it in the masculine, um, this is actually a male for you, or if this is someone who just has masculine energy. Michael goes, okay, okay, okay. I was just gonna read the cards. There's some guy, he feels very disrespected. He feels, Michael says, reel in, reel in your Capricorn antics. What? There's a guy who's feeling very disrespected for being left out in the cold. They're upset. They're this, they're that. But they should talk to their mom about it. They should talk to their therapist about it. I mean, have you done something? I'm being Michael goes, "Are you joking? Did it seem like I was? Because I was being very serious. I mean, did you do something? Did you intentionally have some type of malicious, malignant intentions to emotionally harm them, financially harm them, socially harm them? I mean, I don't know, whatever other types of harm there might be. Did you do something? Or are they just someone who's, um, are they just someone that's like very sensitive? There's nothing wrong. Um, there's nothing wrong with being sensitive. I'm sensitive, right? Sensitivity often indicates, and I'm not talking about toxic sensitivity. I'm talking about just being a very sensitive person, having elevations in emotion, that type of thing. You have the capacity to feel. Um, I feel like they're offended by everything. Whoever this is, they feel disrespected and offended because maybe you weren't willing to play their game. Maybe you were just like, okay, cool. And you kept walking. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of all sorts of different scenarios. Um, that's what comes to mind. A lot of people get like super offended if I just carry forward. Like, did you want me to be destroyed over you? I'm a Capricorn moon. Like, I don't, right? And I'm wondering if whoever this masculine energy is for you, they wanted to see some outward display of you maybe feeling destroyed or whatever it is because of their, I hear the word absence. I don't know. Yo, we ain't got time for these type of games. We just don't. We don't. We don't. There's this incoming wave of goodness, and I would rather focus on that. I would much rather focus on that. Like, what do we need to do? Right? Um, do we need to do a little bit more self-healing? Introspection? Like, what is it we need to do? I don't know that this masculine Michael goes, yes. Michael, I was gonna say, I don't know that this masculine needs to be a part of your journey. I don't. We don't know that. We don't know if this is an individual that actually needs to be part of your journey. This could be someone that's just like, your paths crossed and then they didn't. They went their own ways. Your path went one way, their path went another way. It's not a big deal. So, carrying forward. Ah, okay, I thought these cards meant something else. But apparently, this live stream has just been hijacked by, we're going to call him Jack. Jack over here just hijacked this reading. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to rip Jack a new one. If Jack wants this reading to be all about him, I'm going to be very, very real and very, very raw. Michael goes, behave. I am behaved. So, whatever this storyline is, however it reads out, there's something in here that you need to understand in order to achieve or reach um, a period of prosperity for yourself, right? Personally, I read this card. If this is going to be about Mr. Jack over here, I believe this guy is now reaping what he sowed. It's what you get. It's what you get. So they're feeling very disrespected, right? They're feeling very disrespected. They're having their little, hissy fit about this or about that. I don't know what it is. Probably about you. They're trying to cleanse you from their thoughts, except their soul keeps telling them that they need to bring you home. They need to bring you into their space, their life, their experience. I don't know if it's too late. I don't know where you guys are at mentally. Um because the feeling that I have, is that whoever this applies to, you guys just move forward. It's not a thing of hatefulness, vindictiveness, punishment, or anything like that. You were just like, okay, cool. Let's move forward. And so you did. You did. They weren't anticipating that. And so now they're like all up in their head. They're all up in their head about like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? See, look. He watching you, girl. He watching you. Let him watch. Who cares? That's my logic. I don't I don't have malicious intentions towards anyone. But I really don't have time in life to play with people. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm inviting you somewhere, if I'm offering you something, just out of generosity, kindness, whatever it is. Um, yeah, I mean, it's either a yes or a no. I'm not going to be offended if you say no, you don't want it, but don't be like, oh, you know, let me just, I think I'm going to have to just think about it for a moment and just really consider. Like it's free. If you have to do all that, just say no. It's perfectly fine because I'm just going to move forward. Case in point, one individual who's been very well, I don't know how ill, but they had shared before in a live stream how they had some type of health condition, and it's been a long journey for them. Um they've been really having difficulty with it, and all of this and all of that totally tugged on my heartstrings. And I offered, hey, message me right now, email me so that my team can begin coordinating something, see where I can fit you into my schedule somehow. And my schedule's freaking insane. But I was willing to do that. Just whatever areas I can fit you in, and I want to start working on you. I need you to send me um, medical record, medical history, so I can see exactly what I need to do. And I would say I don't even know how long passed. I don't know if it's like a couple weeks or something like that. I don't remember. I'm not good with time. But after maybe like 2, 3 days, um, something shifted and I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to do anything. It just shifted. I wasn't offended that they didn't reach out. Not everyone wants to work with me. That's perfectly fine. But then when they do finally decide to reach out, it's like, that's, you know, unfortunately, you missed the window. There was a window of opportunity. Windows close, they don't remain open. Windows close. And so the window closed. And then after that, they made it a point to just keep messaging like, I haven't been responded to. I haven't this. I haven't that. Emmy said to reach. Okay, honey, the window closed. The window closed. And when I let them know that, then they took it upon themselves to uh, just consistently complain about their health in every single, like whenever they comment on any of the videos that are posted. If they ever catch me live streaming, they're commenting about their health. And it's like, honey, the window closed. I'm not angry. The window of opportunity is done. So I don't know if the window of opportunity has closed for whoever this is for you, but I don't feel like you should be letting someone play with your time, your energy, your focus, your potential. Like, you are not to wait some unknown length of time while they, decide, yeah, I don't, I'm not sure. Okay, then no. It's not a big deal. No, that's how I have my day to day. You either want to or you don't. You don't, perfectly fine. Let's keep it moving. Okay. So, mm, okay. All right. My face and my eyes are none of your business, Michaela. He goes, I saw you roll your eyes. My face and my eyes are none of your business. Confidence is your key to success. Someone, something is feeling very unsure, very uncertain. Is it you? Is this uncertainty something that's causing you to kind of put off something you have to do, a task? So we're being told to ride the wave. Something is about to be presented. It's an opportunity, I would say, of a lifetime. I like that. What type of opportunity? Mm. There are opportunities for healing, opportunities for abundance, opportunities for tremendous elevation, accelerated elevation. So now the reading is shifting back to you, where that's where the reading should be about, anyways. But you can't control other people. They have their own process. If your paths are meant to cross again, they'll cross again. If not, then not. I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is. It's not a big deal. That's how I view pretty much everything in life. I don't think you could ever truly miss out on an opportunity that is meant for you. I don't think so. I don't. There might be things that happen that kind of serve as a teaser, and not it's not to tease you, um like a teaser reel, a teaser video, where you're letting people know, hey, guess what, blah 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 is not yet ready, but blah blah blah, right? So those opportunities that you think you missed out on, those were just teasers for the real thing. So you didn't actually miss out on something. Now this huge wave is coming, and I'm seeing this visual of like a tsunami. You can't stop a tsunami. You can't avoid a tsunami if that is the region you live in. The region that's going to get hit with a tsunami, you're going to have to go real far. You're going to have to go real far, right? So this is something that you're not going to miss. Excuse me. If it's aligned with what you're ready to receive. If you're not yet ready to receive, then it's going to probably be another teaser. I feel like there's um tremendous potentiality that's being loaded right now. It feels really good, like really good. Bring love into the situation. This has nothing to do with human concept of love. Some of the most loving things that you can do for yourself is to simply allow the flow of life. Allowing the flow of life, allowing yourself to be kind of directed and redirected, positioned and repositioned. It's almost like, when an interior designer uses CAD, that one program, to show you the vision they have for your space that they're designing, right? And then you get the end product, and it has this similar feel, but it's not exact. It's not exact, and it's okay. There are shifts and changes and repositioning that needs to occur in order to allow for the greatest flow of energy and aesthetics. And I think you're being tasked to no longer empty your jar for nonsensical people. Some people are just nonsensical. Seriously. Some people are just, they've become so entitled to you, your time, your energy, your space. And I just, if you're willing to play along with that, that's fine. I'm not willing to play along with that kind of crap. Like, I got shit I gotta do. I got shit I gotta do. In the mornings. In the mornings, so we get up super early to go to the gym, like super early. And I have multiple alarms that go off to make sure that I don't go back to sleep. So it's like alarm after alarm after alarm. And there'll be mornings where my poor husband is exhausted trying to keep up with myself. He's just exhausted. I keep him busy all day. And there'll be mornings where he'll be like, I don't want to get up yet. He'll be like absolutely exhausted. And I'll keep trying to wake him up, keep trying to wake him up. Mind you, I haven't gotten out of bed, but I'm still trying to wake him up. And then finally, when I'm like, okay, I'll just drive myself. I'm going to the gym without you. Then he's like, oh, fine. I'll go with you. If you don't have the courage to lead yourself into the spaces that you know you need to be in, even the people who love you so much, even the people who blindly support everything that you do, um, they don't know where you're supposed to be. They're a different person than you. No matter how alike you are with someone else, you're still two separate people. Even the topic of twin flames, you're two separate people still. You have your own thoughts, you have your own perception. You're still two separate people. And because of that individuated identity, you can see the same circumstance and either have the exact perception about it or something completely polar opposite. Only you know where you're supposed to go. Only you know how you're going to choose to get there. When you have plans for yourself, you have to love yourself enough to see it all the way through. It's not for a lack of um it's not for a lack of love or support. My husband loves me deeply. He supports me through everything. Everything. But some days he's like, we can go in later. And I'm over here like, I cannot go in later because I got this, and this, and this, and this, and that, and this, and this. And I got to be back by this time and that time and sessions and this and that. And he knows my schedule, but he doesn't know all the things that I also added to that schedule that for me, I want and need to accomplish those things before a specific time. Right. So now it's this thing of what are you emptying out to make room for someone who maybe shouldn't be in your life? Or should they? I don't know. I don't know. It could be a friend, it could be a relative, it could be um, a relationship, romantic relationship that maybe is shifting. Maybe it's shifting in such a way that it's using tension and adversity to further expand and ripen that connection. Or it could be that the relationship has already expired and this is the last couple stages before you go your own ways. I don't know. I don't know exactly what it is you need to do, but I think you already know. I think you already know, and you were hoping that I would tell you exactly what you need to do. You need to make your own decisions. You need to decide things for yourself and allow your sovereignty to be front and center. Sovereignty is about being the utmost authority in your life, authority over yourself, no one else, just yourself. So you have to think of what it is you want. What is your objective? What are you trying to accomplish? What is it? What is it? You and your loved ones are safe. So, whatever the process is, whatever it is you're going through, you and your loved ones are safe. You don't have to feel as though it's either or. When it comes to safety, you can have both. You should have both. You should always have that safety, even though you're now deciding something for yourself that benefits you and only you. It's not always a selfish thing when what you're choosing benefits you and only you. Now, if it benefits you and only you at a cost or um, at a cost to someone you love, or if it will negatively impact them, you need to reconsider. You need to see what the middle ground is where you're not negatively impacting someone. This wave that's coming in, I think for many of us, we're being put in a position where we're wondering if we choose this for ourselves, are we leaving everyone behind? First and foremost, the reality is no matter how much you want someone to follow you and be with you always, it's not always going to work out that way. It's just not. Not everyone is meant to walk beside you for the entirety of your trip. Trying to hold and take ownership of another person is not a loving thing. It comes from fear. For example, I would love for my husband to always be beside me through this entire life. But I personally believe, should he one day ever wake up and be like, I'm not happy with you anymore. I feel like I can find happiness in another environment. Okay. Okay. I would be sad. Yes, absolutely. I would absolutely be sad. It would be a major life change for me. But I would respect that because I truly, genuinely love him. I don't own him. He doesn't own me. I don't own him. We choose to be together. We choose to walk together every day. We're literally together pretty much the entire day. From the time we wake up to the time we go to sleep, we're together. As a matter of fact, we hold hands while we sleep. I, Like, that's extra. It is. It's extra. I've entered into my extra phase and he's dealing with it beautifully. He is dealing with it beautifully. He's matching it. Nothing is yet set in stone, but it's in reverse. You see that? The waves are coming. It's already set in stone. This major change, it's coming. It's already on the way. There are certain things, ideas being placed in your mind. These ideas are things, but you got to be careful. Got to be careful. These ideas, if they come from soul, your soul, these are ideas that will take you to a whole nother level of existence, a whole nother level of prosperity. Meditate and contemplate. Allow yourself to consider all the different options that soul is presenting you. These options that you're being presented, they could really work out. These options, these options are things that have always been part of your soul's plan for you. So it's kind of like for those of us who are ready, because not everyone is ready, that's okay. You need to take your um, time to really process the things that need to be processed. But for those of us who have already done that, and now without realizing it, you're ready for the next part, all the options you're being presented are viable options that lead to prosperity. You just have to fully commit yourself to whatever that process is. I don't think I'm talking about relationships or romance. I think what I'm talking about is prosperity. I'm talking about wealth. During times of tremendous economic depression, there is often an opportunity for a financial power transfer. You just have to let your soul guide you through it. If you can allow yourself to listen, you're already being told how it will unfold for you. I don't know if y'all feel it. Mm, I'm feeling it. I am feeling it. I'm feeling all of these tingles through my arms. I'm feeling it all across my scalp, feeling it going down my back. Just all these ripples of potentiality washing over me. These ripples are indications that the process has begun for me already. So I'm still in the process of thinking of dates and the different logistics that are involved. How many of you would be interested in coming to a 1-day in person event with me? An in person event where I would work on everyone. I'm talking about the type of event where I would do deep core code reprogramming to allow for the potentiality of rebalancing your health in person. It would be like maybe a 4-hour event where you would feel the actual energy in person. That would be fun, wouldn't it? Soul was having a conversation with me. I was contemplating certain things. And then Soul said, I could do all of this in a meditative state. I could go ahead and lead an in person meditation event. And as we do this meditative event, it would then come with core code correction. I haven't shared the intensity of the work that I can do. I've told you guys before, I can work on 200 or more people simultaneously. Soul said you can begin with 100 people and then offer 25 individuals a second day event where it would actually be hands on, meaning I would be touching you. I know how to project your consciousness. You can astral travel. I've done it for someone before. And their experience, they shared it with me, it was in person. I placed them in a contraption, which kept them suspended. And what they experienced was a sensation of being in the mother's womb. They went full astral. It was amazing. It was amazing because I was allowed to see everything they were experiencing. Maybe I'll start off smaller. I'm shy. I'm shy in person. That's a lot of people, Michael. 100 people is a lot of people. I know I'd be safe, but I'm just saying. So maybe soon I'll announce that before a full blown retreat, which would probably be about a week long. What we need to understand, this wave of change, if you allow yourself to ride it, I mean, everything that would come to fruition for you. I'm getting tingles about it. I'm getting massive tingle. It's like vibrating and going down my thighs, you know? I know, Janet, 100 is a small family party for us Filipinas, but I don't even talk to my relatives. When we have a full family party just on my mother's side, like I don't even talk to anybody. I'll work through it. I'm not going to block anything anymore. I will work through that discomfort. And I know in my heart, the first event that I do, because I will absolutely do an event soon, very soon. Um, I know that space that I hold with the few people that will be there. Um, that will be something very sacred. And I would not be surprised if those people are people I have intense past life connections with. And that's why we have to be in the same physicality. That's why the first retreat that I had, those people had past life history with me. I even was able to recall my name. And the location where we had that retreat, it was like a week-long retreat. The location where we had that retreat, it was near some of the places where we once lived when we lived that life together. And multiple people in that retreat remember little glimpses of that life. These in person events, the few that I've had, they've been ridiculously magical. Ridiculously magical. So, what am I afraid of? Now, nothing. You've had the experiences that are very similar to what your soul is about to offer you. What's being offered is similar, but it's on a whole nother level for you. You were nervous about some things before. You were maybe even full on afraid. What are you afraid of now? Nothing. That nervous feeling, you don't know what it is. You don't know how to categorize it. And because you're not sure, there's no guarantee. You're very quick to categorize it as something negative, something rooted in fear. I'll ask you this: what is the difference between anxiety and excitement? The difference is in the way you frame it within your thoughts. It's the same feeling. Anxiety and excitement, it's the same experience, it's the same feeling. The butterflies, it's a nervousness, all of that, jittery. Why would you categorize something negative as excitement? You wouldn't. You would categorize it, label it as anxiety. And it's the same feeling. What if every time you felt anxiety, it was an indication that a huge wave of change was coming and all you had to do was ride on it? You're over here afraid. What if I drown? What if I fall off my surfboard? What if I told you that's your birth water? It doesn't drown you. You don't even have to hold your breath. You just have to allow yourself to be immersed or ride the wave. The choice is yours. If you're on board for something more exciting, ride the wave. If you want to kind of just be carried along and you don't want the excitement of riding a tsunami, well, then go beneath the surface. The water will just kind of carry you along. You don't have to hold your breath. Whatever is coming, you don't have to hold your breath. See, just exhale softly, softly, the tender touch. Allow yourself to release the fear you have about the things you are going to experience. If you allow this, guess what? Everything will flow beautifully for you. Everything will flow so beautifully for you. It doesn't have to be anything that is completely destructive and painful and scary and all of those really negative things, right? That we want to avoid. It doesn't have to be that way. This is something, it's a set of events that you can no longer stop. And the way these events are experienced is really all about how you bring this into form. If you bring it into form by first filtering it through fear, it's going to be something very disharmonic to experience. You're going to feel very, very um, jostled. You're going to feel as though this is going to drown you, it's going to destroy you, and all of these things. If you can just be like, okay, this is new. What is this about? Show me, soul. Soul will show you. Soul will show you all kind of really amazing things. Really, really amazing things. Mm. It's a new energy. The new energy is giving a new message on a new microphone. I got my new microphone because it needs to be received in a new way. So there's going to be a period where darkness tries to prevent bringing things into form, right? It's going to try and prevent it. Last week, I don't know why, I was having so many technical issues for some reason. My husband's laptop, because mine is like, my husband's laptop deleted the driver for my interface, my audio interface. I didn't know that. It just suddenly wouldn't work with the mic. I don't know if you guys remember one of the live streams or several of the live streams. I'm over here talking. You guys are like, we can't hear you. Yeah. And it's this thing of why? Why did that happen? I was so frustrated. And then the thought of, oh my gosh, my baneful protection workshop is coming up. I'm not going to have the appropriate audio. And earlier in the week, I was like, oh, I'm just going to have to use the onboard mic. It's going to have to do. And then towards the end of the week, Michael said, you're just going to let that ride? You're just going to let it be like that? Ew. Ew. And so I began poking around on the laptop. I was like, okay, maybe I changed a setting on the driver for my interface. I was going to throw it away. Not even joking. This is not a cheap interface. I was going to throw it away. Luckily, I didn't. Turns out it wasn't the interface. Turns out there was interference, probably from something demonic that didn't want me to do the workshop. But I don't care. If you don't want the outcome that's seemingly being forced on you, you need to take the action to remove the obstacle. So as soon as I went to go look for the interface, I was like, where's the driver? Where's the control panel? And then I searched it and there was nothing that popped up on the laptop. I was like, well, how the hell is it connecting? It wasn't. That's why there was no sound. So I downloaded another driver, and wouldn't you know, it works again. It works again. So it's not necessarily a message of you're going to be doing something new. So throw everything and everyone from your current existence away because now they're unworthy of you and they're irrelevant. That's not true. That's not true. There are some people in some circumstance that are going to ride the wave with you. What you're tasked to do right now is figure out who and what that is. The people who are trying to halt your progression, who are trying to prevent you from getting your surfboard ready to ride this wave, those motherfuckers need to go. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. First, you need to probably have a conversation with them and let them know, hey, are you aware that you consistently like try and hinder my progression, my healing process? Are you aware of that? Some people don't know because they're in their own process. And if it's a case where they didn't realize, they didn't know, and they're apologetic, okay, see if that can be worked out. They didn't know. Now, if they didn't know and they're like, what's the big deal? Okay, basura. Fucking trash. That's a trash answer. That needs to be put out on the curb. I said what I said. I said what I said. Mm-hmm. Yep. Needs to be put out on the curb. Okay. Um, I think you're needing to take stock of exactly who and what has been hindering you. I think you'll find a lot of it is kind of on you. You're not innocent. For many of us, we're drawn to the people who don't give us permission to be who we are. Because why? Because you're afraid of who you are. So if you surround yourself with people who don't allow you to be you, well, then now you have an excuse to not dive deep into the reality of who you are. hmm So that's why I say you're not innocent, right? Oftentimes we're drawn to the people if we're not working on our inner toxicity. We'll be drawn to the people who help support and perpetuate our toxicity towards ourselves. So that's why I say before you start throwing people out, Make sure you have that conversation first. Make sure there's clarity that they're intentionally doing these types of things to you, that they're intentionally, that they're a frenemy. Yeah. You need to make sure. Okay. I think that once you get clarity on who you can actually depend on to still continue to walk beside you, not carry you, but depend on them to be present with you, I think you'll feel so empowered. I think you'll speed right along, and that huge wave of abundance and prosperity, I feel like you're going to realize that nervousness that you're feeling, it's not anxiety because you're about to do the wrong thing, because you're about to fail, because this and that and whatever other negative thing. I think you're about to realize I'm fucking excited. I'm excited to meet you guys. Whoever is present for the first event. And I think in the next week, I'm going to start to solidify the plans. It's going to be an in person event. It's not going to be an online workshop. It's going to be an in person event. I've been saying I want to meet you guys. I do. I do. So I'm realizing I'm not nervous. I'm excited. Look at all the different potentialities being presented to you, the things that make you nervous. Is it because you think something bad is going to happen? Someone's eating Filipino food right now. It's good. One of y'all Filipino? What is that? It tastes, I smell and taste sinigang. Ooh, ooh. Give me 1 second, guys. La 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 la. Bow to your partner. Then you come around. All right. Let us see. No, the location will not be made public. Not even the state that the location will be in, the event will be in, that will not be publicly announced. Only people who have paid to partake in the event, they will be given the location privately. Yeah, it will not be a public event at all. And that is for my safety. Mm-hmm. Um, someone's eating some really good. Do you have some sinigang with that? Some sabaw? Because I love sinigang gang. Okay, shock of the new, but it's in reverse. You already know this is coming. This amazingness, this opportunity, this abundance, you've kind of been feeling, but you haven't been wanting to receive it. You haven't been wanting to um accept it. You're kind of like, no, there's no way. There's no way. There's absolutely, uh-huh. There's absolutely that potentiality. Absolutely. Absolutely. I will not tell anyone where the state is. People who purchase will be given the state and the address well in advance of travel plans needing to be made. But I will not be disclosing publicly what state, what coast, or any of that at all. Nope. Nope. But I do plan, depending on what I can find for Airbnb, I'm looking at estates. And depending on the type of estate that I can secure, because I need a lot of space, not to sleep there, for people so they can be comfortable, because we're going to be doing like a meditative event. Um, Depending on where I can find one that feels right, and I'm going to be looking in specific areas because I know where specific ley lines, vortices, and all of that are. Um, that's what's going to determine. I already know the energy that I'm going to um, prefer to have near the property that I book for the event. Yeah. So it's not going to be at like any public area. No. I like very secure, very obscure spaces. That's what I like. I like to be surrounded by nature and all of that. So, yes, it's going to be amazing. After the storm, but it's in reverse. The storm is going to continue. Who cares? You're riding a wave of abundance and success. Who cares? Start seeing the storm as something that's cleansing your entire environment. I mean, we've already been in a storm, it never ended. The storms that happened several weeks back and have devastated various areas of our country, um, like that storm wasn't just weather, it was energetic as well. That shitstorm, that energy, it has not stopped. Who cares? We can still have fun. We can still do amazing things and create amazing opportunities for ourselves. Who cares? Your sovereignty is not contingent on what your environment gives you permission to do. No. Sovereignty is about you deciding and creating that opportunity for yourself, creating the exact recalibrations that are necessary for your environment so that your environment can help to support, help to facilitate the very thing that you are creating. I've been really enjoying this series called Tulsa King. Like, I've never been a Sylvester Stallone fan. No, but Tulsa King. Oh my God. I love that series. And he was having a closed door meeting with another familia, right? And they said something along the lines of trying to create what you're trying to create. And Mr. Stallone says to them, "You mean am creating. I am creating." He didn't give a shit. I was like, hell yeah, hell yeah. And in that moment, in that scene, he's being threatened. It's a credible threat. It's a credible threat. He didn't give a shit. Y'all need to watch Tulsa King. I don't condone violence or anything like that. Like, no, I mean, unless it's absolutely necessary to protect yourself. That's really, we should try and avoid that as much as possible. But the way he conducts himself in that, his character, the way his character is very unapologetic for being a manifester, for manifesting opportunities, right? And he would be painted as a monster. But is he? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. What's the definition of a monster? If people's definition of a monster is someone who doesn't conform to what society says, then maybe you need to be a monster. I don't conform to what the spiritual communities dictate to me. So they painted me as a monster. Who cares? I don't care. I don't care. I'm still going to keep doing what I do. I know the person that I am. Maybe you have a hard time blocking out the accusations and erroneous words, full on lies that people tell about you because you don't know who you are yet. Because a part of you wonders if maybe you are what they're accusing you of being. Once upon a time, all that caca that happened, yeah, that would have really shook me. That would have really hurt my feelings. But that was way back when I didn't know if I was a good person or not. Now I have no doubt I'm a good person. It's just who I am. I'm a loving, kind person. There's nothing fake about me. So if we don't vibe, we don't vibe. That's fine. If you're gonna try and fuck with me, then we're gonna have an issue. More like you're gonna have an issue. Micah goes, we more like they will have an issue. Okay. That's what Michael said. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. Don't wait for your environment to give you permission. Do what your soul is guiding you to do right here, right now. Start thinking about the direction you've been being guided to go towards. I don't know what that direction is. I'm not you. I'm going in my own direction. You need to go in yours. There is nothing that is going to give you the level of approval and permission that is necessary to bring to fruition this amazing opportunity. Outside of you, there's nothing. It has to be you. It has to. It has to. Or you stay chained, anchored to the same space, a space that you're probably not happy in. That's okay. A lot of people are unhappy right now. It's okay. That's temporary. If you're unhappy, you need to start making the changes that will open the pathway for happiness to be felt once again. Visions of life beyond death, it's in reverse. You don't have to die and become another person for this to happen. Who you are right now, how you are right now is more than enough. More than enough. More than enough. Let it happen. Give yourself permission. But Emmy, what's going to happen? I don't fucking know. And you're not going to know unless you give yourself permission. Let it happen. Let it happen. Right? All right. I agree. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. Confirmation. So, fragments. These fragments are indicative of other people's opinions about how things are supposed to play out in your life, what choices you're supposed to make, and all of these other things. All of the ways in which people in your life, having good intentions for the most part, are shaming you for being who you are. So I ask you this as my community. Um, let me think of how I'm going to phrase this question. Would life have been better for you as people in my community if you never knew I existed? If I never live streamed, never shared any of my thoughts, just kind of hid behind the screen, never ever publicly shared any video of me, would your life have been better? Would you have felt more peace? Would you have felt more empowered had you never, ever, ever crossed my path? Think on that. I know some people might say yes. Some people might say yes. That's okay. If you said yes, why are you here? um and I'll tell you why I asked this. I'm just processing my own thoughts. I asked this not to try and, you know, get you to like give me compliments and like woo woo me and stuff. No. I ask you this because however I have positively affected you, that was never really something I planned. It just kind of was a byproduct of us sharing space, a byproduct of me just being myself. I ask you this because no one in my environment for pretty much my entire life up until that point ever gave me permission to be who I am. You know, I've always been Claire everything my whole life. I never had an awakening. I've just always been like this, even as a child. As a child, I was more adult like than I am now. Um, yeah, yeah, it's just weird. I've been growing in reverse. Um, and I've always been precognitive. For those who don't know what a precog is, because I'm a precog, um, religion would call me a prophetess. I don't like that word though. That word sounds like just so like, ooh. Yeah, I've been called that by several people over the years before I became publicly visible. A prophetess, right? Um, I'm given prophetic information at times. Yeah, up until I completely disappeared from the environment I grew up in, from all the people who's known me up until that point, no one had any way to access me for years. Had no idea where the hell I went. No social media, no forwarding address, no phone numbers, no nothing. Not for me, not for my older kids, not for my husband, nothing. I disappeared. It's sad. Mhm. It was sad. I was sad about it. But it had to happen. And you might be like, why? Like it ravaged me. Yeah. Even though I was still working out, my body wasted away. I was eating lots of food and my body wasted away. I became skeletal. People didn't realize that. Some people would say, like, oh, yeah, no, you look skinny on live streams. And I remember when I came back from my trip to Peru, one of my Facebook friends was like, hey, I live near that airport. I'll pick you up. And I was like, okay. And she picked me up. And as soon as I walked out of the airport and I saw her in her vehicle, and her window was rolled down and her mouth open, and she's like, and I was like, hi. And then I get in her car and she goes, oh my God, are you hungry? And I was like, no, I'm not hungry. I'm okay. And she goes, you're so itty bitty. And I was like, huh? I'm not that short. And she goes, you're so skinny. I was like, oh, I'm lean. I mean, no, I still got a baby belly. I still got some chubs. And she goes, you're painfully skinny. I need to feed you. And I was like, girl, I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. It ravaged me, but it had to happen. It had to happen. Why? Because no one would give me permission to be who I am. And so I had to be removed from every single reason that I would not allow myself to be who I am. Yeah. If you're waiting for someone to give you permission to ride that wave, they'll give you all the reasons, out of love, probably. They'll give you all the reasons why that's a dangerous thing to get your surfboard and ride a tsunami. You'll die. You'll be destroyed. Will you? Will you? Maybe it's in that destruction that if you allow yourself to zoom out just a little bit and see things from a neutral space of observation, you'll begin to see it's not actually destruction, it's deconstruction, so that you can be rebuilt using your own parts, rebuilt in a way that's more aligned and more appropriate for the purpose you were born to fulfill. Could you imagine? Had I not been forced out of California, you would have never known I exist. You would have never known I exist. I don't know that I would be unhappy, but I would not be living my purpose. Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I would have kept trying to play the role that I was expected to play. I would have kept limiting myself. I would have stayed in a space of fear of what if someone finds out? Because I'm the weird one in the family. Not just my immediate family, but all my relatives. I'm the fucking weird one. I'm the weird one, the very intense one, the one that says crazy ass shit. That's why I don't talk at family parties. Early in this video, one of you guys was like, that's like a family party. 100 people, that's like a family party. I don't talk at family parties. Why? Because I always freak people out. To me, I'm not saying anything weird, but to everyone else, it's weird. I remember years ago, many, many years ago, I don't know, like 20 years ago, maybe. Um, my father's brother passed away and he lived in the Philippines. And my mother wanted to go. And I was like, I'm not letting you go alone. Like, you're not going alone. And then and then what ended up happening was, because that was going to be the first time I left my husband and my kids. Um, and then I was fucking sobbing on the laptop. And my mom's like, "Why are you acting like this?" And I'm like, because I was leaving my kids for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, something like that. And she goes, "Oh my God, quit crying. I'll buy them plane tickets." So we all went. And I know some of these relatives, they'd come to visit us while I was growing up. So we know each other. And we go there. And in my head, I think people see me as a regular person. I thought I was hiding everything. No one's ever seen me as a regular person. I'm the only one that's tried to see myself as that. So we get there and we go to the wake, and they're like, ask her, ask her. Ask me what? What? What's wrong? And I forget how they start the conversation. They were like, "Hey, there's this lady and she's like accusing my uncle of blah blah blah." I don't even remember what anymore. And they want to know if she's a liar, because they want to know if they're going to take legal action, right? They have her arrested for like extortion or whatever. Because those relatives, they're affluent. And they're thinking, oh, this person just wants to, it's a cash grab because their father passed. And I was like, I don't know if she's lying, but for some reason I see a horse. And then everyone's like, oh, and I was like, what? You guys are being so fucking weird. What? What does that mean? And they're saying that she knows my uncle because she met him at a horse ranch. And I was like, they're like, what else do you see? And I tell them more, and everything I say, they're yelling even more and more. And I'm like, okay, I'm not even gonna say anything anymore. You guys are freaking me out. You guys are freaking me out. So even if it benefits people, I'm still not allowed to be myself. because it violates the dynamic everyone's been comfortable with. I'm known as the weird one that stays quiet. And as long as I stay quiet, it's okay. I can be weird all I want inside my head, but I cannot allow that to spill over into the environment where other people can hear me and witness me being weird. I had to leave. I didn't want to. I had to. Just because your environment will not give you permission to be who you are, and who you are has to be what rides the wave. Just because they won't give you permission doesn't mean you cannot and will not do what needs to be done. If a caricature of you is what's going to ride that wave, you will absolutely fall off that surfboard. You will absolutely experience the sensation of drowning in your own life. The hardest part about this is not riding the surfboard. The hardest part is letting yourself show up, letting yourself give yourself the permission that is needed, that is necessary for you to ride that wave. You ride that wave, I promise you, amazing things are about to happen for you. This is the pivot point. You have about 2 to 3 months. This is the pivot point. Everything is about to shift. And you don't need to have an internal revolution for this to happen. You don't have to fight yourself. There does not have to be an internal war at all. At all. You just need to allow yourself to shine so bright that you find your way back to yourself, that you find your path, walk that path, and find yourself at home, centered within yourself. You want to hear something crazy? It's crazy because it's true. You want to hear it? You don't have to try to be yourself. It takes no effort. The person you are when you aren't trying to do something, be something, that's who you are. It takes no effort. It takes absolutely no effort for me to sit here and talk to you guys. To me, all of these live streams that I do are just me. I'm just rambling. These are just my thoughts, my opinions, whatever pops in my head, whatever exits my head, just whatever's whatever. Nothing is ever scripted, nothing is ever pre-planned, nothing. Before the live stream starts, I simply ask, what are we going to talk about today? And I hear a small phrase. I put that as a title. No fucking idea what it means. People tell me, Emmy, you would have so much more time if you just recorded all of your readings in one day and then just schedule it, which is true. But I can't do that, would kind of be like scripted to me. And I can't do that because I talk about what's relevant for you in this moment. And if the moment I'm talking is another moment, the message is now obscured. You don't have to try to be yourself. You are yourself. What you need to do is no longer listen to the people who intimidate you into thinking that who you are is unacceptable. I've had many people try and convince me that who I am is unacceptable. Okay, why are you here then? Why are you around me then? Why do you keep reaching out to me then? Just walk away. Oh, Emmy, people can't just walk away. Yes, you can. Liberate yourself from the thorn in your side. Remove the thorn, remove me from your life, and keep living. I'm not asking you to die for me. I'm not asking you to even suffer for me. Remove me, the thorn in your side, and keep living. Not a big deal. It's really not. The people who will not give you permission, they are the thorn in your side. The thorn that prevents you from paddling because the pain of every movement. You can't paddle with one arm. It's a tsunami. You need both your arms. You need both your legs. You need to remove the shackles from your ankles, the shackles from your wrists, the yoke that's been placed on your shoulders. Remove all of it. That's unnecessary weight. It's unnecessary. You need to remove their influence on you. They speak as though they want nothing but peace for you, that they love you. People who don't know what love and peace are. How can they want that for you if they don't know what it is for themselves? You see, I talk so much about you needing to decide things for yourself, and I reiterate over and over and over that I don't know what you need to do. I can give you the words from your soul, but I don't personally know what you need to do, because guess what? I finally know what it feels like to be sovereign. I finally know what it feels like to breathe, to exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale and exhale and inhale. Being the one to set the rhythm for my own breath has shown me I truly am the authority over myself and my life. Too many people have been telling you how to breathe. Too many people in your life have been causing you to hold your breath. Some of them get you to hold your breath until your lips are all purple and turning blue. No, that's enough. Inhale the light of your truth. Exhale the darkness of your doubt. It's time for you to rediscover yourself. It's not a secret. Anyone who's paying any type of attention, it doesn't even have to be something, um, it doesn't even have to be something extreme. You don't have to be fixated on economics. Um, y'all know we're headed, if not already, in a recession, but we're already in it. We're already in the recession. Let me just be honest. Um, I'm not into economics or anything like that. Okay. But we're in a recession. And if you do a little bit of digging, you will see that this recession is already far worse than the Great Depression. Let that sink in. Yet you're still here making it, aren't you? Our ancestors made it through that too, right? So, how do you want to experience this? How do you want to experience this? No matter what happens, no matter what you choose, at some point, this recession that's being classified by some specialists as worse than the Great Depression, it will end. And then financial stuff will rebound, and then life goes on. So the question here is, How do you want to experience this? If you're going to answer, well, I need to watch my expenses and I need to really buckle down and oh my god, this is so scary. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? Well, then you're probably going to experience this in a very uncomfortable way. If you're going to choose to be like, I'm recession proof, there might be some lean moments, very lean. That's okay. We get through every moment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to focus on aligning myself with my soul, opening up that pathway for abundance to come through. I'm going to be creative in the way I approach this. And that doesn't mean just spend wildly because it's going to return. No, you need to be creative in the way you create, the way you manifest the opportunities to bring this abundance in. When you chase money, money runs away. Your polarization, your polarity, it's not calibrated to draw money to you. It's not. When you're chasing it, yeah, you're going to forever be chasing it. However, when you calibrate yourself in such a way where you're like, no, it's coming. It's coming. I just need to think of the best way for me to allow it to arrive. It's coming. I had this idea of getting a commercial embroidery machine. I know, just yo, hear me out. Hear me out. I have a commercial laser engraver too. Yo, I be having these cockamaniacs things, thoughts in my head. But the embroidery machine, um, I was gonna go ahead and get one and then custom design things to embroider. I'm not gonna go into full details because hater ass hoes be trying to bite off me. But I don't know if I'll do it though. I don't know. But I'm allowing myself to get very, very creative as I consider what type of surfboard I want to use to ride this wave. I will never allow myself to deny myself again. Never. Never. So you got to be as creative as you possibly can be. That hobby that you have, whatever it is there a way to turn that into a business? Maybe you can function as a consultant for something. Is there maybe something you like to create? Can you maybe sell that? Is there, okay, are you like totally into gossip? What if you created a gossip channel for celebrities? I mean, that could be the launch pad for you to build a huge platform that can be monetized just because you like to talk. You like to dig up all kind of gossip on celebs. You like to talk shit. I'm being totally serious here. You like to talk shit. A message for my Geminis. I've never met a person who can talk shit like a Gemini. Hey, they're my favorite. I'm not talking shit about Geminis. They're my favorite. I've never met a sign that could talk shit the way Geminis can. Start a channel. Don't matter what platform. Start one. See what happens. Just record yourself talking shit. Fucking, that's hilarious. There's this guy who does I don't know, it's kind of They kind of dress themselves more feminine. I don't know what their orientation is, and I don't think that's really relevant for their content. They dress themselves clearly very feminine. They wear lashes and they put their hair in like very feminine hairstyles, like pigtails and stuff, and they don't have much hair. And their entire content fucking hilarious. Hilarious. I'm always cracking up when I see their video. I don't remember their name, but all they do is they talk shit with their eyes. They're like, and I'd be cracking up. I think they have something like over 1 million followers. You know that shit's monetized. Good for them. Good for them. Absolutely. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Another gal, I came across her profile months back. I haven't seen it again, but I was like, holy shit. Something like 26 million views? What the fuck? And it was something like millions of likes. I was like, that's crazy. You know what she was doing? She was making like phloem or something like that. She was mixing like glue and soap and something on the floor, and it was just like. I was like, this is very intoxicating content. Mhm. And so I was like, maybe this is their only viral video. Still happy for them. But I was like, what else do they do? And I go on their page and there's tons of videos. It's all that. And I'm like, millions upon millions of views. I was like, holy fucking shit. The brain rot. What the hell? I was excited for them though. Um, they had multi-million subscribers, or not subscribers, followers. It was on TikTok. Followers. And I believe their page is monetized, and I believe all of that phloem, I don't know what the hell it's called, that they make, because they make tubs worth. I believe they sell it. They end up selling it or something. I don't remember anymore. But um, if I remember right, she was able to buy herself a new house by pouring random ass shit together on the floor. Fuck yeah, girl. Fuck yeah. I was cracking up like, holy fucking shit. That's one way to do it. Hell yeah. Monetize that shit. See, people will tell you, oh, you're just money hungry if all you think about is monetizing. Motherfucker, are you paying for groceries for me and my family? Are you paying for the house I'm in? No? Okay, kindly shut up. Yo, if you are creating content for social media and people are drawn to your content, you are driving so much ad revenue for that platform. Monetize your shit. You are not banking off of other people. You are getting your fair wage from that massive multi-billion-dollar platform. They are using you and your content to make themselves money. Don't fall for that shit. That shit of like, you have to do things for free or you're going to be a mean person and immoral and you're not a light warrior anymore. No, fuck that shit. No. Get creative. Ride this wave of abundance. It's coming. There's going to be a shift. There's going to be a power transfer. I don't know how the fuck it's going to play out, but at the end of this, I have zero intentions of being dependent on the very organization that wanted to shackle me in the first place. Fuck that shit. I need to earn enough to build a sanctuary. And I want you to be able to also ride that wave. I don't know when the wave's going to hit, but you got about 2-3 months. I would say you need to prepare now and have something, some type of game plan established within 2 months. You need to. There's a polarization that's occurring. It was initiated maybe a month or 2 ago. For those of you that choose to start getting creative so that you can detach from this matrix. I'm not talking about move out on a farm. I'm talking about working for yourself. Excuse me, you're going to get through this perfectly fine. For those of you who keep dragging your feet and refusing to do what your soul is telling you to do, it's not too late. How honest do you want me to be? How much do you want me to tell you? There's a reason I'm being told to pivot. How much do you want to know? And if you do want to know, what are you going to do with what I tell you? Because if you're just going to hear it and then live in fear, there's no point in me saying it. You might as well just not know so that it'll be like one big surprise. So you're not left worried and afraid until it actually comes to fruition. You got to ask yourself, because in the next 2 months, whatever you decide for yourself, you will no longer be able to change it. One group, I'll say the courageous group, because there's no such thing as the chosen. That's a draconian propaganda. Okay. It has to do with ball worship. So one group will have the courage, and that group with the courage, you will do the things that you're not accustomed to doing. Maybe that means being publicly visible if you're very private, or whatever it is, trying out some type of business idea, whatever it is. Because of your courage, you will simply be observing other people going through what they go through. You will be able to be fine during this period. You might have some moments where, you need to be very careful about some of your financial decisions, but for the most part, you'll be fine. For those who are ruled by their fear, and if you're aware you're ruled by your fear, you should probably mute me at this point. So I'm going to count to 3. If you're ruled by fear and you already know you're not going to try and, find the courage to do something different, and you're already going through some tough times, you need to mute me until I raise my hand again. Until you see me do this, you need to keep me on mute. Okay? Turn off the captions, turn it all off, keep me on mute. I'm going to count down and then I'm going to say something. 3, 2, 1. For those who don't have the courage, for those who choose not to find the courage to exit out of the spaces and circumstance that they've been in for how long and have led to a perpetuation of their struggling and suffering, this period will absolutely devastate you financially and all other ways as well. You don't have to choose that. You might not know the path you're going to take, but you don't have to experience it in that way. you still have a small window of opportunity to choose something else. At the very least, choose to find the courage to be open to suggestions from your soul. When I say that those people who don't have the courage will be absolutely destroyed by this, I'm talking about complete financial ruin. I'm talking about complete dependency on the state for your meals, for your housing. And if you think, well, people already do that, they want everyone dependent. Why do you think they created more hoops for us to jump through? You know that I forget what form it is. If you start your own business, you have 30 days to go ahead and file your interest in that business, like the percentage of your ownership, all of your financial info, whatever information, sensitive information. Yeah, they don't want you independent. You see all those people that they easily, very fucking easily gave that loan to back in 2020, and now they're arresting people. What other things have they been doing? All of it has been pre-planned. All of it. All of it. You know, the people who received the stimulus checks, right? They're like, free money, stimulate the economy, spend, 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 spend. How many people received a bill from the IRS recently? Received a bill from the IRS. Or when you went to file, you suddenly were made aware of that refund you were expecting. We're taking a chunk of it because we found out you were overpaid. It's intentional. The entire thing. It's intentional. It's to create dependency. Dependency on what? We're going to see. You don't want to depend on that because the moment you're dependent on that, they got you. You have to do what they say. You have to. They can make it something mandatory to comply with medical procedures that you are not fully informed on. You want your food? You got to do this. You want to keep living in that place we're allowing you to live? You got to do that. No, you don't get to say no. That's what we're heading towards. That's part of the event horizon we've entered into. If you find your courage, you'll then put yourself into a capsule of protection. You can't exit out of the event horizon. We're solidified in that at this point. We're heading down that path. You can't get off the bus. You put yourself in that capsule, that courage capsule. It doesn't affect you. You still have to bear witness to the way it affects everyone else, but it doesn't affect you. It's not going to be easy. Watching people suffer is not easy for an empath. But joining people in their suffering will not eliminate their pain. It just amplifies it because now you're suffering too. You still have that window. Remember, the beginning of this or earlier in this video, I was talking about someone who was offered a window of opportunity. It had nothing to do with money. I was not interested in getting paid for anything. And the offer was what? To help them with their health, extreme health problems. And my goal would be to completely reverse it. They missed their window. They missed their window. When soul told me to close that window was closed and bolted shut. It will not be opened again. It's not about me being offended. That window of opportunity was closed. And that's that. I listen to what my soul tells me to do. I am at a point, I am not willing to learn in a way that's unnecessary for me. I will do what my soul tells me to do. So it's up to you. You get to choose, but you have a very small window, about 2 months. Don't wait till the very last minute. Start thinking every day of what you want to do. Oh, for the people who are afraid. You can now hear me. Start thinking every day about what you want to do, what creative thing you want to explore. It does not necessarily require some large financial investment. You guys have heard me say this before. I launched my company in 2017 while I was homeless in a parking lot. I was homeless and I invested $30 a month in a prepaid cell phone. I did all of my live streams, all of my sessions, everything with that prepaid Cricket cell phone. Honestly, my family is probably the reason why they no longer offer unlimited data. Hey, you know what? hmm And we're probably the reason why Cricket stopped allowing you to use your phone as a hotspot with unlimited data. What? Hey, we were not doing anything that was not allowed or paid for. We paid for that service and we were using the service we paid for. I think I don't remember. I think it was something like 400 gig of data. Over 400 gig of data, gigabytes of data a month. Yeah. hmm Yep. $30. $30. That's $1 a day. Business is still running. You don't need a massive investment to find the courage to exit out of the same cycles you've been in. The wave is coming. You're either going to get your swim gear on or you're going to be one of the people running on the shoreline screaming, "A wave is coming!" and deathly afraid. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. No, I'm not reading that card. Okay, okay. So 2 cards well, no. I'm gonna see what this card is about. This is not a twin flame reading. I don't know if that's a twin flame card, but if it has a whiff of twin flame stuff, I'm not reading that. Okay. I'm telling Michael. Okay. Bhavatarini. Ooh, 44, an elevation of the self, a coming together of all of your parts. Yes, Bhavatarini. Okay, let's see. 10. hmm Oh, okay. I'll read both. Here goes. Card number 10, Kundalini Shakti. Hers is the arising consciousness that evokes instability within, clearing the inner pathways for higher consciousness to manifest. Inner disturbance and instability wrought by Kundalini Shakti is an obscuring grace. Internal disorder is a necessary step towards divine reorganization. This absolutely goes hand in hand with what I was talking about the entire video. Reassure your heart that no matter what may appear to be, at a spiritual level, all is well. And that's true. All is well. This is simply a message of you needing to choose how you will experience the human aspect of a spiritual circumstance. Outworn energy is being processed and broken apart. From the ashes of your inner fire, you shall emerge anew. Let what needs to happen happen. So, you think you know how things are going to play out. You think you know what all of this is about. If you hold on to that with a death grip and close yourself off to receiving the actuality rather than just your assumption, you'll miss out on something very profound. You just saw that play out right now. I was like, if this is going to be some twin flame shit, I'm not reading this card. Let me check first. I had an assumption. My assumption was wrong. Stop being ashamed, embarrassed, or afraid of being wrong. Those are the people who never learn. Those are the people who set themselves up for further struggle. I'm not afraid to be wrong. And you saw the message that's about to come through is going to be a powerful one because I left myself open to receive the actuality rather than simply clinging to my assumption. Within the subtle field of the body is a powerful creative awakening energy known as Kundalini. When the soul is ready, this energy, rather like a snake uncoiling, stirs and rises. Awakened Kundalini becomes Kundalini Shakti, moving according to its own pace, path, and wisdom. It clears the chakras, purifying the body and mind, preparing the body to more readily receive spiritual energies, weaving through the subtle energy body from the base of the spine towards the crown of the head, seeking release through the top of the head. As purification is rarely an enjoyable experience, and that's factual. Purification and ascension are rarely pleasurable experiences. This powerful natural process requires courage. See what I'm saying? As energy shifts and we are cleansed emotionally, we may have physical symptoms of discomfort and dramatically fluctuating moods. Our thought processes may be confused and our perception not as astute as it otherwise may be. Like sediment being sifted from the bottom of a water glass, that which was clear becomes temporarily muddied. As a sediment is removed, the water settles again, but with more clarity. The oracle indicates a need to be patient and to allow for the confirmation of signs and intuitions. So, guys, real quick, this is a part of the video where your soul is telling you exactly what to do. It's using poetic metaphors. You're being given instruction by soul. You do not need to ignore signs to act, but it is wise to recognize that you are presently within a liminal space of healing. The way things look now will change dramatically in the not too distant future. It's not wise to try and build a new foundation on shifting ground. Be patient. Trust that you will know when the time to act is upon you. So, you're making plans now. You're not necessarily putting it into action right now. Everything is still shifting, but that doesn't mean you don't start to make plans and take things into consideration, reviewing different factors to see the viability of it. When Kundalini Shakti rises, energies are beginning to move in new ways. The oracle indicates there is something within you that's been dormant, perhaps for a long time, even lifetimes. It's now reawakening. This message could relate to an aspect of your being, even a past life talent that will be further developed in this lifetime. You guys, there's so much that soul is trying to give us. So much. Let yourself receive. Okay. Let yourself receive. If you let yourself receive, some good things are coming into play. Give me 1 second. Something just shifted in energy. I was going to go live tonight, but I am now being told no. Excuse me. I am to remain offline after this live stream. Y'all know what that means if you know what it means. You should know what that means if you know what that means. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. That means you guys need to be careful this evening. That means the energies might go real bonkers tonight. Be careful. You're going to be fine, but be careful. When Kundalini Shakti rises, energies are beginning to move in new ways. The oracle indicates there's something new within you that's been dormant, perhaps for a long time, even lifetimes. It's now reawakening. This message could relate to an aspect of your being, even a past life talent that will be further developed in this lifetime. It could be a stalled project coming back to life again, or a reinvigorated sense of purpose following an unexpected inspiration. Or an ascension to a new are predicted. Lots of change. Okay. Lots of change. Sometimes there is quite a long period of deep incubation on the spiritual path when not much seems to be happening. Kundalini Shakti is an inner movement of energy, which will eventually demonstrate an outer effect that's often considerable. It can seem illogical to the intellect, but if you want the externals of your life to change, go within and work on your inner self healing. It's what I've been telling you guys the whole video. This is confirmation. Everything that we've been touching on, this is also touching on. Through trusting and protecting the process of inner work, shielding it from prying eyes and ill informed, fear based negative opinions, a new authentic self is generated. There are those who want you to steer clear of the very people who will serve simply as a catalyst for your change. They are not needing credit. These catalytic beings, they don't need the credit. Your exposure to them is simply snapping you into action. That's it. That's it. Yet you will have those who will advise you, don't go to them. Don't listen to them. Oh my God, they're evil. Why would you be scared of something evil? I would be like, fuck out of here with your evil self. I'm not scared. You're evil. I'm not. That's your problem, not mine. I'm not going to take ownership of that. That's not for me. None of that's going to get in my space. Why? Because I'm not going to allow it. That's why. That is reason enough. I will not allow it. I'm not just going to say that. I'm going to live and breathe that. You do not have permission to access me. You enter into that state, it don't matter if you know how to work energy or not. It doesn't matter if you know how to work energy or not. Nothing gets in. You will fluctuate though. And in the moments you fluctuate and don't believe in yourself, the moment someone is successful in convincing you to believe that others can have dominion over you, see, then you'll create the opportunity. At which point you need to hurry up, process what needs to be processed, and return back to that space within yourself where you're like, no, request denied. And you need to be unapologetic. You need to be unapologetic. Okay. Through trusting and protecting the process of inner work. Oh, wait. The time naturally comes when the newly forged self is strong enough, sufficiently spiritually integrated, and ready to be seen, heard, and received. Ooh! We are ready to come out of the spiritual closet. Some people think I have this like huge office or something. No. um, it's like the equivalent of some people's closets. And that's not embarrassing to me. It's time for me to come out of the spiritual closet. I take this as a personal message, and I hope you guys claim this as well. I'm reading this in first person. I am strong enough, sufficiently spiritually integrated, and ready to be seen, heard, and received. I'm ready. I'm ready. I don't need to be hidden away in some obscure space, living, existing strictly in a virtual way. I'm ready to meet my community in person. Any last bits of fear of what might happen, gone. Gone. I have always been protected. I will always be protected. I will always choose to remain in alignment with my purpose and my path, positioned beautifully between the self and the soul. There is nothing in this life I need to fear at this point. Tell yourself that. Every day you forget. Tell yourself that. Every single day that you forget. And if you forget multiple times a day, then repeat it multiple times a day. If you don't yet have the courage to believe that that is you, that message is yours, keep saying it until you believe it. You're not trying to convince yourself. You're simply trying to allow your courage to be heard louder than the doubt of your fear. There is no reason to suffer any further in this life. Now is the point where you can choose to correct the suffering. That doesn't mean you won't experience moments of pain. Pain is often the instigator for learning and growth. Suffering, that's optional. It's always been optional. It's always been optional. We have no interest in trying to mold ourselves to fit the demands of others. We are divinely self generated from within. There is no benefit or effectiveness in trying to rush this process. It takes time and effort to distill our nature with sufficient resilience so we are not shaken in the face of conflict, by attempted sabotage or the fearful projections of others. You want to know why people are afraid of me on social media? Do you want to know why? I have a very clear understanding why. Why people who seemingly have so much more than me are so afraid of me and are trying to cause people to be afraid of me too. You want to know why? Because they want to dominate me, but they know they're not strong enough to. They're not strong enough to do that, and I will not allow it. So rather than befriend me, they choose to attack me. Not realizing I don't have fear in that way. I'm not afraid of conflict. I'm not afraid of confrontation. I'm not afraid of legalities and spending what needs to be spent in order to protect all of my business assets. I am a business asset for my company. I am the primary asset of my company. A company that's a soul-based business. Let people misunderstand you. Let them misjudge you. Don't waste any of your time on that. But when I say don't waste your time on that, that doesn't mean not correcting what needs to be corrected. Correct what needs to be corrected and keep it moving. This is a beautiful opportunity for all of us, but only some of us will choose to accept it. Such spiritual infusion, integration, and reformation takes as long as it takes. It's not a small accomplishment. We must be generous with our process, providing patience and trust. The oracle brings confirmation that you are working deeply, and much can come of this. Your labors are not in vain. It's not in vain. The oracle of Kundalini Shakti indicates creativity and healing on every level. Don't just be creative in the way you are going to bring your abundance home to you. Be creative in the way you're going to heal the parts of you that still refuse to allow that abundance in. Allow it. You see, in the pivot that I'm being instructed to do, I must leave behind a portion of my existence. It's not anytime soon, but I'm aware it's begun. That portion of my existence that will be left behind, it's like, but what about that? That's being earmarked for those who I know have integrity and skill. I'm pivoting. I am not afraid. There is nothing that will be left behind. Whatever is being slowly phased out of my life, it's because it's time. It is gifted to those who are ready to accept it. It is a beautiful thing. It is a very beautiful thing. And I will have the courage to continue on this process. I trust myself. I trust my soul. And I trust all the people and souls that are involved in this pivot. Everything will work out so beautifully. And one day soon, I will look back and I will say, I'm so glad I didn't avoid it out of fear. Look how beautiful everything turned out. This is everything soul promised. I believe that wholeheartedly. I don't know how it's going to turn out yet. But I was working on my knees today. What? What does that mean? My knees have been feeling a little unstable. They don't feel as strong as they felt. There's a lot of inflammation. What feelings are inflamed? Well, knees usually represent your betrayal of yourself. Knee pain? It's because you're not listening to your own needs. And with all this stuff from work and the energies as of late, I haven't been listening to my own needs. It's been a crazy, hectic couple weeks. I'm going to slow my life down because I don't need soul to use my body to force the slowdown. Remember, I said I listen to soul now. I do whatever my soul tells me to do. I'm intentionally slowing down just a little, just enough. And I'm working on what needs to be worked on. I'm trying to identify what is causing inflammation. It's an emotion. It's an emotion that's either causing you to have a hormonal makeup that welcomes inflammation, predisposes you to inflammation, or it's a refusal to process something And in that refusal to process something, to digest the events of life, you're externally projecting it into your in real life circumstance by eating the very things that cause inflammation. The grand design of the human experience is a very complex simplicity. If you begin to understand yourself, you'll begin to understand what it is that you need to work on. Soul will give you instruction. You have to be willing to receive it, even if you don't understand. I was told to try out this new supplement. I didn't know why. I didn't know why. But I bought it anyways. I've been taking it and I'm like, oh, I'm feeling looser. Turns out it's very potent as an anti inflammatory. Turns out it's very cardioprotective, neuroprotective, whatever I'm processing. It affects the heart and the mind. Mhm. Mm. Mm. Courage itself is the reward. If I did not have the courage to share that very personal detail, I would not have come to the realization that that's what I'm actually in the process of doing. Needing to protect my heart and mind from the very thing that I can no longer avoid. Mm, I love soul. It always gives me everything I need, even before I realize how much I need it. Listen to your soul. Listen to it all. Guys, I feel like it's time for me to kind of just lay down and integrate a lot of these very profound tidbits of clarity that my soul has gifted me in this talk. I will read one last thing though, because remember, there was a second card, card number 44. 4 being the number of self. You will either find yourself standing in the presence of someone who is a mirror of you, perfect mirror of all your healthy parts, or that 44 is a message that you are about to rise and increase in your potency and purpose. Baba Tarini, the tantric priestess of karmic release, manifests with a capacity to integrate higher divine energy into even the most stubborn patterning that has so far resisted healing. Woo! Layer after layer of confirmation. When momentum is building and you don't know how to stop fueling the fire or reverse the damage, she appears. Her presence indicates that this is a powerful time for spiritual work and healing practices. She will support the work, and much growth can come from it, particularly at this time. No matter how wild they may seem, the storms of your life shall be gentled. You shall emerge unharmed. Find the courage. Find that courage. Mm, like, soul is so good to us. It's just sometimes, most times, we don't know how to receive that goodness. And more common than not, we don't even realize it's goodness that's been presented to us. change is usually scary simply because we receive that feeling from a space of fear. Remember that nervousness, that anxiety? Is it because something bad is about to happen? Or is it excitement for future potentials being offered to you in the now? If you're going to see everything from a lens of fear, you're not going to be willing to receive the very thing you deserve and need right here, right now. So I'm not going to go live tonight. I could sit here and think, oh my God, is it demonic shit? What's going to happen? Was someone going to attack me? Was it going to get through? Or I could be like, I think soul wants me to rest. Just lay back and integrate, have some very good whole food, and just let my body rest so that my mind can be focused on allowing myself to process something that will lead to further healing within myself. I choose the second. This is soul inviting me to spend more time with my family and spend more time with myself. I don't give a shit what the demonics have planned because nothing will get through anyways. Nothing in this life you have to be afraid of. Embrace every opportunity. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to embrace every opportunity. And while I lay there, I'm going to start looking for properties on Airbnb. We're going to have an in-person meetup. I'm thinking, and I have to check permit parameters. I'm thinking maybe 30 people. I think I won't need a permit for 30 people. I'm excited to meet you guys. Whoever's there, I'm excited. Ooh, your Mac will sleep soon unless plugged into a power outlet. That's a message from soul. Time to go and time for me to recharge. I love you guys. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please. Oh, I have an event this Saturday. I do. The Secure Spaces event. I don't know how many tickets we have left. There's an enhanced portion where you get a shit ton of activations. And then there's the event itself, which is still very, very good. The enhanced portion, your higher self will be deciding exactly which activations. On average, I don't typically share this publicly, but your higher self decides. And on average, higher selves will select about 6 activations, between 6 to 8 activations that it wants me to do to support whatever the focus is. So if your higher self wants more activations, it don't matter. I do it. I work on everyone during the enhanced event. Again, if your budget limits you, the regular ticket's perfectly fine too, because a lot of energy swirls through all my events. If you've never been to an event before, let me tell you, those who've been to my events before, y'all know, even the basic ticket, it ain't basic. Nothing I do is ever a basic experience. So join me. It's on Saturday. The tickets will be closed off whether we're sold out or not. We sold out of the Painful Magic event. We fucking sold out. For this, whether it's sold out or not, we're cutting off the ability to purchase, I think, Friday morning to give people time to be able to figure out the platform and whatnot. So click on that if you want to go. If you don't, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to get going though. Please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell.